when I call you on the phone and I'm in need, it might be midnight. It might be 2 o'clock in the morning. But when I call you, I can depend on, one, you're going to answer the phone. Two, whatever it is that I need, a ride, support, some money, something, I know that you're not going to leave me hanging. You're going to have my back. Why? Because I know you care about me. See, when you know someone cares about you and you know that they have your back and they've been proven, you have put them to the test and they have proven themselves every time. Not they fall short 1 or 2 times. No, but every time they come through. Every time they have your back. That's the kind of person you can trust. That's the kind of person you can share personal information with. So you call your homeboys, Dwayne and Darius, right? Like, you tell them, look, man, I need y'all to come over. I need to talk to y'all about something. Well, man, you can't just tell me on the phone. Man, what is it? Tell me on the phone. No, man, I need to see you face to face. All right, just meet me at the crib about 6, right? So then they get there about 6 o'clock. They come in and they're all like, man, what's up? And, hey, man, sit down. I need to talk to you about something. And this is important, right? I don't need y'all to interrupt me. I just need y'all to listen. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you, because y'all my partners. Y'all my Pizos. Y'all my aces. I trust you above anybody. And I don't want this getting out. So please keep this information to yourselves. The only reason why I'm telling you, so when the ish go down, you know exactly what's happening. Because I've already divulged the information to you. I've already shared it to you. So you don't have to be surprised. You don't have to be shocked. You don't have to be, tripping. This is what's going to take place. And then you let them know what's happening. You let them know what's going down. And, they don't ask a bunch of questions. They don't, have this not understanding of what's being said because of the way you're telling them, the way you're teaching them, the way you're breaking it down, the way you're making it so simple that a child can understand, that they would have no questions. But you shared it with them because they're your partners. You dig? And you trust them exclusively and exquisitely. There's nothing that you can't share with them because they've been vetted and they're your boys, right? There might have been situations beforehand and you said something to them and then you told somebody something else just to test and see their loyalty, just to see if they was going to have your back or if they was going to stab you in the back. You dig? So when you divulge this information, and if your boys are really your boys, if Dwayne and Darius really my boys, they gonna have my back. They gonna be Neil, mum's the word. They gonna be like a mouse, needle in the haystack. You ain't gonna hear nothing. Why? Because I exclusively, and I undoubtedly trust them. This is why I tell them the secret things. This is why I share with them the important things. This is why I tell them what is exactly going on so there'll be no surprises. There won't be nobody saying, well, he never said that was going to happen. You know exactly what's going down because I care about you. If I would have wanted you to know, okay, if I'd have wanted you to know that I was in financial hardships, I'd have told you. I'd have shared it with you. If I would have wanted you to know that I was going through divorce, if I would have wanted you to know that I'm homeless and I'm sleeping in my car, if I would have wanted you to know these particular things, then I would have shared them with you, right? And if I shared them with you, then it's because I wanted you to know. You're in my circle. I consider you a friend. I consider you close. I consider you someone that I love. So I share these important information to you. If I would have wanted you to know that I was sick, if I would have wanted you to know that I had cancer, if I would have wanted you to know that, something was going on with me, you did? And I didn't tell you, then that means I didn't want you to know. Because if I'd have wanted you to know, I'd have told you. And so you hearing it after the fact that I'm already dead and gone, right? It's really not a real big deal, because if I would have wanted you to know, you would have knew while I was alive. It's only certain people that I told. Those that I consider my friends. Those that I consider close. Those that I love. Those are the people that I'm going to share with. So if I'm sharing with you, it's because I love you, because I trust you, and because I feel like I have vetted you, and I feel like God has allowed me the freedom to be able to share with you because you support me and you have my back. Right? I'm sharing them to you. Not for you to go run and tell Tom, Dick, and Harry. Not for you to get on social media and get on Twitter and get on Instagram and get on Facebook and get on Lemonade and get on the T and get on, all these other places. To share what I've told you. I shared it with you because I wanted to stay with you. You dig? Now, I'm going to read the scripture and then I'm going to let y'all go on about your day. But I pray that by the time you finish this video, you think about the scripture and you think how it applies to your life and what it's saying to you. So then you can take a greater understanding from the scripture and you can be aware of your discernment, right, that God has given you. And you can start discerning those that are in your circle, those that are around you. You can start discerning who you need to cut off and who you need to keep. Who you need to love with a long handled spoon and who you need to keep close, right? So the scripture is coming out of the book of Mark, the 8th chapter and the 31st verse. You dig? Again, Mark 8 and 31. And the scripture reads, "And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected of who? Of the elders, and be rejected of the chief priests and the scribes, and be killed. And after 3 days," he says, "I'm going to rise again." This is Mark 8 and 31. I'll read it again. "And he began to teach them," those in his circle, those that he had vetted, those that he knew loved him and supported them. Those are the people that he began to teach. "That the Son of Man must suffer." Not just reign in victory, not just sing kumbaya, not just heal and set free and deliver and bless and be praised and worship and sing songs unto God. No, he said the Son of Man must suffer. See, in order to reign with him, we must suffer with him. You dig? He goes on to say that the man of God, the Son of Man, must suffer many things. And he goes in to teach them into detail about the things that he must suffer. And then he says, and be rejected. So the things that I'm doing and that I'm sharing, they're going to be rejected. Not only are they going to be rejected by important people, but they're going to be rejected by people in authority, people in powerful positions and places. They're going to be rejected by the elders. Those that are supposed to have wisdom and be wise and be knowledgeable and have understanding and discernment. Yes, even the elders are going to reject me. So the elders are going to reject me. Those that are in authoritative positions and high places like the chief priests, they're going to reject me. And even those that do all the recordings. Yes, the scribes. It says, and the scribes, those people that write things down, those people that record meetings and record what's being said. You know, when you go to court, you got the person that's sitting on a little, a machine, tabulation machine, and they're typing everything that the judge is saying, the prosecutor is saying, that you're saying. They're typing everything that's being said, that's being shown, that's being referenced, right? There's a recording of it. The scripture says, God says that even the scribes, those that are in the meetings, those that hear what's being said and they're recording it, even they will reject me. And he said, even after all of that, after rejection, after rejection, then on top of that, oh yeah, I'm going to be killed. They're going to kill me. But I need y'all to know that. I'm explaining to you and I'm teaching you what's going to happen so that you can be aware and you're in the know. Nobody else will know what's going on but you, because I'm divulging this information to you because I love you and you're part of my inner circle. He says, and after I'm killed, after 3 days, I'm going to rise again. That's a promise. You dig? Mark 8:31. So who's in your circle that you're teaching about you? Who's in your circle that you're divulging information, you're sharing information that may be pertinent? It may be personal. It may be private. Who is it that you are letting in on what's going on, what's about to happen, what's about to go down? Because those same people that you let in and tell them and divulge to what's getting ready to go down, they need to be people that you can trust. They need to be people that support you. They need to be people that have your back, that's not going to go around telling your business. And then all of a sudden you're inundated with a bunch of unnecessary questions and comments. People wanting to give their 2 cents about your situation and how they think you should handle it, what they think you should do according to their precepts and their thoughts. They ain't got no skin in the game. None at all. But yet they will be real quick to tell you about what they think, how you should handle it, what you should have said and what you shouldn't have said, right? But let's look at what Jesus did. Jesus didn't go running his mouth to everybody. He took those that were in his circle, his disciples. He sat them down. He said, yo, check this out. I'm going to let you know what's going down. I'm going to give you the 411. You heard it from the horse's mouth. You heard it right here, directly from me. So you can't get it twisted. You can't get it secondhand and third hand from other people that overheard or was being nosy or try to find out what's going on. No. You heard it from the horse's mouth right here. I'm telling you what's going to happen. These are the things that's going to happen to me. Okay, I'm going to have to suffer this. I'm going to have to suffer that. I'm going to have to go through this. I'm going to have to be beat. I'm going to have to be scourged. I'm going to have to be flogged. I'm going to have to be crucified. I'm going to die, y'all. So don't get all bent out of shape. Don't be all this distraught, boo-hoo. You don't know what to do. You're walking around with chicken head up cut off. I'm telling you I'm going to die. But I'm telling you after I die, in 3 days, count them, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to rise again. You dig? That's a promise. You can take that to the bank. And that's what Jesus did with his disciples. He shared personal information with them that he didn't divulge to no one else. You dig? Why? Because he trusts them and he loved them. And he knew that they loved him too. This is the reason why he shared the information. Who are you sharing your information with on today? Many times we share stuff with people and we shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Just because we see them often or because they're a well-known acquaintance doesn't make them a part of our circle. Doesn't make them a part of those individuals that we trust and we love because they've been vetted. You got to be careful who you share things with. Even things that you may not think is that important, right? They're no big deal things. But still, the things that you say, people will weigh and they will possibly, put them back on you because it came out of your mouth, right? So we got to be careful, man, the things that we say about our past and we share about our experiences and we share about people we know, especially if they're not in our inner circle. I don't share my business with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I try to be careful and cautious. Why? Because I've gotten burned before. I have gotten burnt before by sharing too much to the wrong people. You got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? You got to vet people nowadays. You got to make sure that, one, they're who they say they are, not just by their words, right? But by their actions. Do their actions line up with what they say? Do they follow through and do the things that they say? Because, folks will come back real quick and say, well, he said, somebody will be asking, well, where'd you hear that from? Who told you that? Well, OB said, yeah, Levon, yeah, I heard him over telling so-and-so, so-and-so. Why? Because we're just so frivolous with the things that we say. We just say things and we don't pay attention to who's around and who may be listening. But it would behoove us to make sure that the things that we're speaking in truth, right? We're speaking in love, and that we're speaking for the betterment and for the building of others and for the kingdom. Otherwise, people will use your words against you. And it happens often. It happens a lot. We think we can trust folks. We think that, folks is cool because we've been knowing them, forever. And supposedly we go way back like crackjack, right? I know your family, you know my family, and we've been kicking it and hanging for a long time. So now that I feel like I haven't prayed about it, right? I didn't ask God about it. I didn't use my discerning about it. I just feel like you cool. Feel like, you a good person. I feel like you got my back. Though I've never asked you for anything, so there's really no record of support. You know what I'm saying? And then we make these decisions based upon feelings and based upon, what we think, instead of asking someone to know truly what's in their heart or what's in their mind concerning you. You dig? And then we divulge information, and before we can get it out our mouths and it get in their ears good, it then got out somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll get back later. And someone will say, well, why did you tell so-and-so this? Or why did you, mention that? Or whatever, they haven't been the greatest support. They haven't been the best role model. They haven't been there for you. And then I'm sitting there looking like, yeah, you're right. They haven't been. So why did I even go down that road? Why did I even let them in and share and divulge all this information? Because I thought they were somebody that I could trust. I thought they were somebody that, that had my back and that were going to support me. But quickly you realize and you learn who has your back, who's going to support you and who's not going to support you. Quickly you learn when word gets back to you, and then people are all bent out of shape and upset because they heard things second and third hand. They didn't hear it from you. Why? Because you never divulged it to them, right? So again, we got to be careful with information that we share and who we share it with, because the enemy is always looking for an opportunity to get in. All he needs is a crack, you dig? And sometimes that crack can be you running your mouth to the wrong people. I'm not sugarcoating. I'm not putting 20 on 10, right? I'm not trying to make you feel bad so I can gain sympathy and I can gain empathy and all those kind of. No. I'm telling you so you know exactly what's going on. You don't have to be fearful. You don't have to be afraid. What you need to do is stay prayerful and believe what I've said. Because if you say that I'm the Christ and only God has revealed that to you, then these are the things that I'm sharing with you because you know who I am. And I don't want you to be caught off guard when the enemy tries to come and attack. See, the enemy is looking for opportunity. He's looking for a chance to hit you with a swipe. He's looking for a chance to cold cock you from the side. He's looking for opportunity to trip you up. That's what he does. He did. And he'll use anyone and anybody for his purposes if they're open to be used. So we got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? We got to be prayerful. We got to make sure that we are rightly dividing the word of truth. We got to make sure that, we are, full on with our discerning. You did? You can't just be playing with this thing. You got to be really discerning what God is saying. So that way you don't wind up getting yourself in trouble and you don't wind up putting somebody else in a very sticky position.